Hey there, welcome to the QB Show. My name is Stacy Kildal, and my co-hosts are Woody Adams and Dawn Brolin. We want to ask you guys to take a couple minutes to visit each one of our sponsors and check them out. They've been helping us bring this show to you for the last 4 years. We have Avalara.com, making sales tax less taxing. They will calculate and pay your sales tax liability and take care of all of your returns as well. We have TSheets.com. This is probably the #1 employee-rated time tracking application on the planet, if not the galaxy, and an amazing team of people behind it. We have Skyline Hosting by UniDataIT.com. This is where we host all of our QuickBooks software as well as our other software like Microsoft Office. So please take a minute and visit them, and I hope you enjoy our show.
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the QB Show, formerly Radio Free QuickBooks. And my name is Woody Adams. I'll be one of the hosts for this evening. Before we go into that, I just wanted to welcome you and thank you for watching us and listening throughout the week. It should be a really good show. We have a lot of questions, and all three of us are back from our various adventures on the show, and we're going to go for the next hour or so. I am a product specialist with Intuit, though Intuit's not affiliated with the show, and anything that I say or do on the show might not necessarily reflect the opinion statements or views of Intuit. So get that out of the way. And of course, we have Dawn Brolin and Stacy Kildal on the show with us. Stacy, how's it going there?
It's going well. I just want everybody to know, full disclosure, these are pajamas that I have on. They're like full body. Yeah, full body jammies, and I have my hood up because it is so bitterly cold here. But I'm doing very well. I got all my 1099s out. I didn't have that many to do.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got all the W-2s out that I needed to get out. I got my own quarterly fourth quarter estimate paid on time. I'm trying to put all those words together to make one sentence, and that it was a little difficult. Good. I'm glad everybody is back. I'm so not that I didn't love having Kim Amsbaugh on last week. I mean, my heart almost burst to see her, and I brought my whole family down to introduce her before the show started because I was so excited to introduce them to Kim. But I just feel like I have my family back, my RFQ, my QB Show family, when all three of us are together. It just feels like there's just something not right in the world. And I have to, while Dawn is introducing herself, this chair right behind me, this one right here, is bothering me, and I'm going to fix it. Just so
I think you should do something with the midget chair next to it. What is that?
That's like, that's just the extra one for when like the kids have a friend over.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dawn, what's going on?
Listen, you know what? We're making things happen. I got to go to the federal building today, meet with the IRS, and it was worth the 4-hour one-way drive.
Oh, New York City?
Mm-hmm. Brooklyn, baby.
Brooklyn, whoa.
Yeah. So it was awesome. I was totally in my element. My next mission, go to the FBI building.
Yeah, and you should. I'm surprised they haven't brought you there already, and maybe not under perfect circumstances, but you should have at least gone once, I think.
I'm gonna get in there. I already got a connection. Another forensic, so I'm gonna. I've already sent him an email. But there were 4 of us. It was awesome. I wanted to get a picture. Because we were all suited up. It was.
Yeah. So how do you drive into Brooklyn? Isn't that a crazy drive? I mean.
Well, I didn't because so the attorney drove in.
That's probably smart. Have a lawyer drive.
Yeah, have a lawyer drive. That way, if anything happens, he can take care of it.
Yeah, it's like extra insurance.
You know, we were all there counting. I had all my apps going. So of course I get in the car. You have to be in Orange, Connecticut after the snow week, another foot we got yesterday. And I'm driving. It takes forever. I get there, I jump in the car. There's 2 forensics and me and the attorney, and I'm like, all right, everybody clocked in. And they're kind of like looking at me. I'm like, you're
like what?
In, aren't you? Dude, I've been clocked in for 2 hours already. And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, so you're going to go back and enter your time when you get back to your office? You guys, what's wrong with you?
You did it on the phone just to show them?
Bam, bam. I'm like, what are you guys doing? It was so
What did they think?
awesome.
What did they think?
Oh, they were like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, you gotta get with it, fellas. So it was me and my 3 fellas today. It was awesome. It was great.
So did the car have like wooden wheels, like wooden tire kind of shell or outer rim?
It should have been a Barney Mobile. It was me and the 3 fellas, and they're awesome. It was really great, and I was totally in my element. I was right where I belong. It was awesome.
That's great. You know, and they should be. You know, they should just sent you a limo. Honestly.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I was a little disappointed. But it was great. You know, I love the forensic. I love the IRS stuff, and the criminal stuff is even better than the IRS notice. And so really super fun stuff. You know, but I don't like getting up at 5:30 in the morning. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like it.
No.
You don't like it?
I'm not a fan. You know, and so
Quarter of 7 is my
time. I'll out
time.
of bed at 8:50 and walk out to my office at 9.
Sure.
That's what I'm. But let me tell you what, Woody. Only Woody. I'm only telling this to Woody. This is between Woody and I.
Okay.
I have been excited about this for weeks, and I would have pulled an all-nighter just to do this appointment today.
What a. Oh yeah.
That's how
you
pumped up.
should be there, right? You should be there.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry.
Quarter of 7 is about as early. Maybe 6:30 for me. Hey, look at this sweatshirt I got that Stacy sent me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Looks good on you, bro.
Dawn, you should have a couple too, right? Look at this, bothering me. Yeah.
Listen, I'm all dressed up today. I
know, but I'm just saying, you got them, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I texted you.
There was a cat. There's a cat.
Got my Fresca.
Yeah.
Fresca. Who are you? What have you done with Don Brolin?
It's tax season. The game is on. I'm on fire. I am on fire. Fired up.
Before we get into it, I just wanted to show this room I'm in, which you guys have never seen before.
Oh, you're moving. That's right, Woody.
Oh, how do you love it, Woody? I'm so excited that you got your new house and you guys are all in. How do you love it?
Yes, it's a great home, and those 2 doors lead out onto a small yard, and then we're on a park, so it's like a green space. And we love the layout. It makes much more sense. So I'm just sitting on the couch in the bedroom, still doing the show from the bedroom, but
That's great, Woody.
I don't know. I guess I could do it from the walk-in closet or something, but this is where we are for now.
We'll take however we can get you.
We're just here. But yeah, it's exciting. I don't got anything on the walls yet. I'll try to put something up, some QuickBooks related thing on this wall.
Or just a picture. I don't have anything QuickBooks related behind me.
Just a picture
I've
would
got
be
a
nice.
picture of Wonder Woman and some shoes my sister painted. There's a picture of Geddy Lee.
Yeah, I see that.
That right there, that picture. This
Is
one.
a Sherpa?
No, this one right
like
here.
A Sherpa.
No, there's no Sherpa. This one right here, that's Geddy Lee. My sister painted that in high school, my sister Kristen. This is a signed picture of Lando Calrissian.
Oh, yes.
And then what you can't see up here is an autographed picture of Chewbacca. So, yeah, and they were all gifts.
I forgot to tell you, Isaac
I did not purchase those.
Isaac got someone gave him, or they found it at an old thrift store, a Millennium Falcon with a bunch of cool Star Wars figures. And when I saw it, I was just like, whoa. So we played for a little while, and I was telling him the story and trying, as much as you can impart on a 5-year-old. And he was so excited to hear about, wait, what was the thing? Oh, yeah. He had a Darth Vader, too, so I kept doing, Luke, I am your father. No! And Isaac thought that was hilarious.
Oh, my goodness.
Awesome.
So I had to tell the story. And so he's been having fun with that. He loves it.
That is awesome. We had a discussion tonight right before the show. So there's I might have to do a screen share just so I can show you guys this.
Oh, you should.
It's that awesome. It is the Tower of Orthanc from Lego kit from Lego. And I know, and I'm going to do this, and then we'll get into what we've got to talk about, the QuickBooks stuff that we do.
Yes.
I'm gonna show this, and the reason I'm gonna show this is because this just came today. And the reason why I bought this is because it was only $200 on the Lego website, but on Amazon it was going for $270. So really, it was an investment. I mean, if you think about it. So it's already worth $70 more than what I paid for it. So this came today, and I'm gonna go ahead and do my screen share so I can show you guys this. So hang on. This is what I purchased. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's pretty awesome. And it's a awesome Lego kit. And we just got it today. And it's like this big giant it's this big giant kit. And so Eric was asking me about the One Ring. And so anybody knows, I also have, my tattoo is Elvish runes from Lord of the Rings. My kids' names on here. So I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. So Eric was asking me, like, what's the One Ring? And so I immediately start, like, reciting, like, the poem, the One Ring to rule them all, One Ring to find them. And I'm explaining to him that, men were given 9 rings, and then they were turned into the Nazgul. And so I'm explaining all of this, and all of a sudden, Kira just looks at me and she goes, Mama, maybe I'm going to bring it down a notch. Like, your nerd is showing. Because Eric had already checked out. So, and I just kept going and going and going and going. So, yeah, it's awesome explaining that kind of stuff to them. I'm going to shush now. I'm going to stop talking. It's good,
because they really get into it. I mean, he just had a perma-smile while I was talking about it, and I was just like, dang, I got to spend more time with him, do stuff like that. It's just really fun. Yeah, Millennium Falcon. Nicola, of course, is the only one that can figure out how the contraption goes together, because it's 2 pieces, and it's just old, right? It's thrift store, so it's been in many families, and she figured it out, and that's all right. But no, we're in. We're quite a ways out from actually being totally free and clear from it all. But it's nice. It's an upgrade for sure. Very quiet and peaceful neighborhood.
Nice, like and that's exactly what you were looking for.
Really, what I've been looking for. Exactly. Yes. Downtown just didn't turn out to be for me. I'm too old, Yeah.
You're just so...
Punks, get off my lawn kind of guy. Yeah, so it's just, I need something quiet.
Get off my lawn! Get off.
So,
sponsors, do a quick sponsor.
Yes.
I'll let somebody else. Dawn, why don't you do sponsors tonight?
Okay, I'm gonna. Because you said I could. So, of course, I don't even know what to say about T-sheets because I friggin' live off of it. I live on it. If I could eat it, I would eat it. They have had the T-sheets cookies historically, and so I had those cookies. But I just love. I clocked in and clocked out today. Like, I'm done, so I can invoice them and I can get paid. And I can't say enough about T-sheets. So I love them. That's all I can say. It's like a love for me. Unidata as well. I mean, we love Unidata. We've got Lacert up in Unidata, so tax returns can be done from anywhere. Snowstorm, rainstorm, not a windstorm. Probably lose electricity. You can do tax returns from anywhere. I mean, really. And QuickBooks, of course, because I'm the desktop lover. So I'll talk about that for a couple minutes.
We've got some good desktop questions for you today.
We do.
The desktop is wonderful, and so we love it when we have to do 1099s and we have to pull the data from the cloud or from clients who just have things in Excel still. Oh my goodness, seriously. And so we're able to, just pop the information right in the desktop, and so we have a 1099 folder for them that sits in Citrix year after year after year. We don't have to get W-9 information over and over again. It's all just sits right in there. So we really appreciate that. So we love Unidata. Now Avalara, we are switching all of our sales tax clients over to Avalara. All of our clients that we've done sales tax. Yeah, we've been really hard pushing Avalara because of the Nexus issues. We've got a client right now kind of in the hot seat in a nexus situation. And so myself and another CPA firm are working on some of that setup and working with Avalara to get that taken care of. And so there's just too much going on. So we're started with this first debacle, which is usually how you make changes. I recommend you make changes before you end up in these situations, because believe me, the client's going to blame you for something right, wrong, or indifferent. And even if you don't know that they're doing certain things, they're going to blame you. So, you know, I'm going to take that risk factor out of play, just like we did with payroll. So
are you going to roll that? Do you roll that into like the value bill or the fee you charge the client?
They pay Avalara. We get out of the way. They pay Avalara. I don't want any ties to any of that stuff. That's compliance. I'm out.
Okay.
And so I just have too much at stake, you know. And so we love our supporters, but I really, you know, we're trucking right along with that stuff, and we love it. So and we think.
What I mean is, are you paying Avalara, like, and then your client reimburses you, or are you just like, look, in order to be a client of ours, you have to use Avalara now? Is that like a requirement that you roll out?
We won't do the sales tax. So if they need sales tax, like if they're a client who has sales tax reporting needs, then they go to Avalara, but we won't offer that service at this point.
That's good.
So,
That's
and
good.
they pay them directly, because I don't want to get in the middle of that stuff.
No, I hear you. I just wanted to know, because I'm sure people are like, you know, I'd love to. How do you get clients to adopt apps? Even one or two, right? And obviously you use them yourself, and you're familiar with them, and it's easy. Like you guys use T-Sheets. T-Sheets allows you, among many things, to make fun of lawyers, you know, so that's awesome. Yeah. But if someone wanted, you know, one of your clients, I just thought as a firm, are you rolling it out saying, hey, new this year, if you're a client of ours, you need to use this, and this app, or you're not a client of ours? Or is it just when they come to you for services, you say, well, here it is?
Yeah, so like the clients that we work with ongoing, it's very easy to work, and they don't just go like, oh, Brolin, we're gonna do all the apps you recommend, you know, we're gonna do whatever you say. It's not like that. There's an adoption period, right? And every client.
But it should be like that. It should be like that.
Well, it's gonna be, because Brolin is not messing around. 2015 is gonna be brutal for the clients, but so what we do is we look at the major pain points in the clients, you know, in the areas. We've got, you know, the bookkeeping is almost non-existent because the systems are in place. They're either on the desktop with all the stuff happening, and we're not data entering obviously at this point. We're really analyzing reports and looking at things, but we're looking at the pain point areas that they have. And a lot of times, you know, it's funny because I talk about with T-Sheets, at least with the clients who have people who are hourly employees, you know, there are Department of Labor requirements, and how are they reporting their hours? And trust me, you get a ticked off employee who leaves and goes to the Department of Labor and says, they only paid me for 15 hours and I worked 50, and then they're always against the employer. The government's always against the employer almost all the time.
Yeah, totally.
And how do you have proof? And so you really need to get better at documenting. And so like the trip log thing, if I have a client which every client has business use vehicles, they've got to, you know, we've got to talk about them and their compliance. And so right now I'm using trip log, and I literally start and I hit stop. It calculates the mileage reimbursement, and I get a report at the end of the month, and I reimburse myself. I'm an S corp, so I have to reimburse myself. It's not I'm not a sole proprietor, so I don't take mileage. So as an S corp, I have to reimburse myself. So there are just different things that we are behaving in certain ways. So it's an really easy conversation for me to have with the clients. And so we just start with the biggest pain points, you know. And because I'm involved so much with a lot of the audits right now, we're just really involved in IRS representation, DRS representation, DOL, you know, appeals and different things like that. I see what the IRS is looking for. I listen to the different agents because every agent's different, and so we're just really, you know, this is my big quote, and it's mine. So anybody tries to use it will be sliced in pieces. But I always tell them that I'm not trying to scare them. I'm trying to prepare them. So even, you know, my clients who are not under audit, but they're in business. So, you know, it's my responsibility as their trusted advisor to say, hey, listen, you're claiming this tax season, the clients are gonna be blown away during tax season. They're gonna be bodies everywhere here in the office. Because for me, it's all about making sure that I'm doing my best as the person they trust the most to advise them properly on how to run their business for so many different things. And so, how do I get them to do that? And and that's what the apps are for. The apps are obviously for simplification of business processes, but it's also there to help us with the compliance end of it. And
exactly.
So it's so fun to go through those things and just help the clients with whatever the pain point is. So we just
you're setting a good example, and like I say, people follow by those that do, not necessarily what they say, and I think that's true.
And it's
awesome.
when I certainly want to be true to myself. I just want to be true to what I'm telling them. But not that I need every solution or every app. Not every business needs to follow the same thing. I'm boring, Stacy.
No, this is great because this. No.
I was just getting comfortable.
Yeah.
I saw you. I'm like, wow, she might have a freaking nap. Just bored. I'm sorry.
I was just getting comfortable. That's all. I was just trying to settle it in. That's all.
I think this is the stuff.
Long, cold day.
Yeah, this is the stuff that resonates, I think, with our audience because most of them are, if not already using an app, they're seriously considering it. So it's like, well, how do I broach the topic, etc. And then, so Stacy, in your way, what are the key apps that you and Shannon and all your folks use?
So I just found 2 apps that I absolutely there's a cat. That's Ethel. That's my old lady. 2 apps that I absolutely positively love. Shannon and I are trying to meet this week, but we had a snow day today and we had a snow day yesterday. So we had to basically push everything back. But one of the apps that I just found is called Practice Ignition, and so I've been looking for, and it's for me, for my practice. I've been looking for kind of like a CRM project manager. I love Maven, but it's more than what we need at this point because Shannon, for all intents and purposes, I don't really have to monitor what she's doing. I mean, she's pretty much partner at this point, and that's how I introduce her. So I don't have to really kind of watch her like I would and say, okay, this project has this task and then this task and then this task. It's just kind of, hey, I need to know when it starts and when it stops. And so this Practice Ignition really kind of allows us to do that. It's kind of almost like a mini CRM. We can actually put our clients in there, send them the proposals, have them approve the proposal or the estimate or whatever it is, and then they'll automatically get the engagement letter, and we can upload our own engagement letter, and then we can just track where the project is and see whether it's done or not. And what's pretty cool, too, with it is it will generate and push the invoice however you set up the terms. So, do, prepaid. And so once they accept the proposal, it creates an invoice and pushes it to QBO, but it doesn't send it out. And that's what I like. So I can still go into QuickBooks Online and then, make sure everything looks good and send it out. So it's kind of exactly what I've been looking for. And I've been waiting I've been trying to meet with her this week so that I can show it to her and, and make sure she wants to use it. If she doesn't want to use it, then, I'll still probably use it, but I'd really like her to get on board as well. And then another really great app that I found, and I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to apologize to Intuit and everybody at Field Service Management. I'm not a fan of Intuit's Field Service Management app. It doesn't work with QBO. They keep saying that it's going to work with QBO. It still doesn't. And even with desktop, the support is not the greatest that I've seen. I had a very simple problem, and I don't know the product well enough to troubleshoot. I had a client this week who had an issue, and it was a setting in QuickBooks that they had to change. And support kept telling them that they had data corruption going back to 2013, and they only created the file in 2014. So I found a field service management tool called ServiceMate. So it's Service M8 in the App Center, and I absolutely positively love this app. And this is probably the one that I'm going to start recommending to all my clients who need that field service.
Hey, that's good to know. I appreciate you telling me.
It's a really great app. I'm in love with QVinci right now as well. So
dashboard reporting just rocks.
I am absolutely, so I did the app review for that too, and I love this because for me, because I have to manage the books for Kildal Services and I also have to manage the books for the show, I'm able to just open that up or give that to, like give my my friend Brian, who does my tax returns every year. Here, he's a CPA, local CPA here. So I can just give him access to QVinci, and he can log in and help me throughout the year with all of my estimates and all my estimated payments. And that's Eric, my little man back there. He's running around doing something. So I'm in love with QVinci. That's one that we're going to use. Build.com is always a go-to for me with my clients. We use that a lot. Avalara. T-sheets. I mean, those are the ones that, just off the top of my head, that we're really going to be recommending starting this year. And that being said, we don't have a set list because we can, I think, get away with not having a standard set because we're small enough. We can still kind of talk to the client. I think once we get bigger, it's going to kind of be a situation where these are the tools that we work with, and if you want to work with us, this is what you're going to have to do. But we're not quite at that point. So, there's a couple, like if they need a CRM, I'm going to go to Batchbook, and I'm going to go to, Method. If they need field service, it's ServiceMate and Jobber are my two go-tos that I like. Reporting, I'm a big, huge fan of Fathom is a really great tool, I think more for accountants, for accounting professionals rather than just small businesses. And another one that I just went through is Fundera. They just got put in the App Center, and so I went through that. That's a really painless process to go through and apply for funding.
Just applied for that.
I have one that's about to, and I wanted to go through the process, so I actually went through and basically kind of went through up to the point when it asked me for my bank statements and all the documents that I needed. I just uploaded like cat pictures and like a picture of you and me, Dawn and Kelsey from QuickBooks Connect is what. So I did the whole thing and then just kind of let some of the people over at Fundera know, hey, I'm not really doing this yet. So it's pretty cool. So those are my go-to ones right now. Love them.
Very cool. No, and I like the one about ServiceMate. That's good to know because I'll get that question now and again. And I do talk about Jobber a lot. I've seen that one. Nice.
Yeah, Jobber, and I think wait till you see ServiceMate. I think Jobber is a little more social. I don't know. I think they're both really great. I just really ServiceMate would be perfect if it integrated with QuickBooks Payments, and right now it doesn't. So the process that you have to go through is, you can do the work order, and whoever is out in the field, they'll have to create the invoice, and then receive the payment on the invoice, and then maybe open up GoPayment and do it that way. So, but right now it doesn't integrate with it. But anyway, those are mine.
Well, it's interesting. We talk about QBO a lot, but I was posting this on Facebook, and I made sure I tagged Dawn because she would appreciate this. Because I had a call with a client of someone in the Providence area, Rhode Island, and actually they're in Boston, I'm sorry. Maybe the firm's in Rhode Island, but the client's in South Boston. They have 3 locations, and it's a retail outfit. So, the person that I was working with before I even got in the call was like, maybe QBO Plus and, one of the many apps and like Revel or something or this or that.
I just thought of something.
But after talking with the owner or one of the owners of the paint retail shop, it's a retail paint. They're like for not Sherman-Williams. It's another paint manufacturer. Anyway, there's a retail distributor for one of them. 3 locations in like the south of Boston area. They, they're not crazy about being online, and they have everything installed, and it's basically a retail store with one headquarters. So after we were talking for a little bit, we eventually went with point-of-sale multi-store. So Don would have been psyched about that. And then probably an enterprise back office or Premier. And though, it would have been cool to do QBO plus with this and that. Because of some of their concerns, it just wasn't going to get there. And some of their, I think, just needs in the product, even just in desktop, it was going to be more comfortable for them because the owner was used to Pro and et cetera. And the POS is still, our POS desktop application is still a great platform for heavy retail and particularly the multi-store because of the store exchange syncing into one QuickBooks file using the same item list. So though it takes a while to set it up and they're going to, the firm's going to spend some time implementing that structure, but I had to tag Dawn on it because she would have loved that I went all point of sale multi-store desktop, Dawn.
Animal.
I have one more thing to mention too. You mentioned enterprise, and so one of the reasons why I really like QVinci is it kind of is one last piece of the puzzle because you know how I've been talking for a couple years about being able to get enterprise functionality. There's a cat. There's Ethel. With QBO Plus and then like SOS Inventory or Exact Online. One of the things that was missing was that consolidated reporting, right. And I really truly feel that QVinci offers kind of that
awesome.
Almost like that last piece of the puzzle.
The franchises.
Yeah,
that's why our franchise team loves it. They sell it a lot. The Intuit franchise team, QVinci is always in the mix because they got Jiffy Lube and they got Jiffy Lube. They got what? They got Big O Tire. No, who has Big O Tire? I can't remember. Anyway, there's some big one that you would know. Like Blimpie or something. I don't know. National chain, right? Consolidated P&L, and this QVinci is perfect there. Each location using like QuickBooks Pro. What I like about QVinci is they can pull in from Excel, QBO, and desktop all into the same picture, all into the same report, which I think is very exciting.
There was another app that I just reviewed too that I thought was pretty cool, and Spotlight Reporting.
I'm using Bodhi right now too.
Bodhi, I love Bodhi. So Spotlight Reporting is really cool because you can actually include metrics from like Google Analytics. So if you put Google Analytics like on your website to do SEO reporting, if there's something that you're tracking in Excel, so you can pull a few different things in, not just your accounting software, and you can get metrics and do reporting on that as well. So I thought that was kind of cool. It's called Spotlight Reporting. Did you say Bodhi? Yeah. I love Bodhi. And the reason why
right now.
Well, I love it because it gives you like, okay, here's what the report is, and then it gives you kind of like, here's some things that you can do to make it better.
It has forecasting in it too, which is awesome.
I love Bodhi as well. It's so hard. There's so many good ones right now.
Sure.
And I was laughing with Kevin the other day because when I first wrote, remember those first, in 2009, I wrote those QBOA, the QuickBooks Online, when QuickBooks Online Accountant first came out, I wrote those 3 courses. And in the one course for Intuit Academy, in the one course, I wanted to put 3 QuickBooks Online add-ons. And it took me the longest to write that course because I had such a hard time finding 3 add-ons that I felt confident enough and that I thought were good enough apps to put in that one. And SOS Inventory was one of them, and I think Q Commissions was another one. And I can't remember what the third one was, but now, man, there's so many great apps. I love being a reviewer for the App Center because there's so many great ones out there.
Live Plan's another good one.
I love Live Plan too. See, that's the thing.
It's very seamless, and I love seamlessness.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about a few questions.
Yeah.
I have a question. Or maybe I have a quote. Someone emailed me.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you who it was, but someone emailed me. And he can email me to tell me if he wants me to say his name. But anyway, he said, I'm going to read it to you, Dawn. QBO question, so nail Woody or the snow bunny with it.
Snow bunny.
Stacy, you're the snow bunny, honey. She's frozen.
Wait, what was the question? I was reading a tweet.
She's not even paying attention.
I was reading a tweet, too. I'm sorry.
When I talk, Woody?
Say it again. No.
I'm just kidding.
I know. I feel bad. Say it again. Okay. I'm sorry.
It says, Dawn, QBO question, so nail Woody or the snow bunny with it. Like they have snow there.
I have snow?
So
We actually had historic snow. It was the third largest snowfall in recorded history. It was historic, unlike what they got in New York.
Yeah, we got 3 feet. So
you guys did. I'm not saying you didn't. I'm just kind of yeah.
So
okay.
quote that they found on a forum with a fresh date, 1/15/2015, and maybe this is just if you have insight. Found a quote. If they had known that QBO did not have integration with Shipping Manager, which I don't know, I probably would not have switched from desktop version, and I may still switch back.
It doesn't.
What's worse is that I cannot find a third party that offers a shipping solution that works with QBO that costs less than QuickBooks.
Right. Right.
So what is Shipping Manager?
That's in the Pro Premier and Enterprise. It just kind of allows you to sign into your FedEx or UPS.
Right.
Oh, okay. So it's
and actually ship out of there. Yeah, I mean, all we have is the shipping field. We don't have like a ship manager. It doesn't integrate with that.
Are there any third-party apps? There aren't any third-party apps.
I just want to go on record that I never said that QBO integrated with Shipping Manager.
They didn't say
nor was it ever designed to.
Nope.
But yeah, shipping apps.
So there's one in there that I know. It's called like Now Commerce or New Commerce. It's called I can't remember what it is. It's like Now Commerce. There's a cat just sitting there.
It's a bunny.
I know she does look like a bunny.
I'm gonna ping David Leary on Twitter just to see. Maybe
I know that there's one.
By the way, it's Michael Young who sent me an email. He's adorable. He's from New Hampshire.
Yeah, New Hampshire.
They got a lot of snow in New Hampshire.
I know that there's two of them. One of them it's called Now Commerce or New Commerce, and or integrate something in the App Center in apps.com, and I don't know. I can't remember what it is.
Maybe we can tweet it another time if you can find it.
And then the other one, there's another one that's called like 71 pounds, but I think it's just shipping refunds. Which I don't understand what that is, but I know that there's a couple shipping apps in there.
Okay, we'll get to it.
The other thing I want to mention is that he should check out like SOS Inventory or one of the inventory apps because a lot of them have integration and they do have some sort of shipping management tools in them. So.
But I'm not saying that's not on the roadmap or we've never gotten the request. It's a good one, but
right.
No, I don't. That wasn't, I would think the shipping manager would be the last thing on our minds when we were creating that one, creating QBO or recently. But it's a good one. I just pinged David Leary. Hopefully he'll respond because he's on Twitter a lot. Well,
it's called Now Commerce is what it is. Now Commerce Integrated Shipping is what it is. And I will.
Nice. There it is. Now Commerce.
I will tweet a link
to that. Nice job, Stacy. Now Commerce. Love it.
I can use. I can search. I can type. So.
Sweet.
Yep. So there you go. That's what the Snow Bunny says.
But thanks, Michael, for the question. Thanks, Michael, for the question. What was I going to say?
You wanted to ask some questions.
Yes. Stacy, can you talk about QuickBooks Labs?
Okay, so QuickBooks, you know what? Do you want to, while I tweet this, can you talk about it at all? Or do you want me to do it?
Can we do a desktop question, please?
Yes, let's do that first.
Do that first, and then we'll talk about this.
Hold on, I got a good one.
The important stuff first. Go ahead.
I got a good one. The client's a large medical group that receives reimbursement for high-cost drugs.
Start over.
Okay. The client is a large medical group that receives reimbursement for high-cost drugs, and they would pay the specific doctor their share of the drug revenue when it was administered, not when it was paid from the insurance company.
Correct. Accrual basis, basically.
Okay, so because of the high dollar amount, they were underwater by quite a bit if the timing was off month to month, as you would know. They're going to change the procedure to paying the doc when they receive the reimbursement, and was wondering how you track it in desktop.
Well, they could certainly make the doctors classes, so they could make each doctor be a class to do the class tracking for the revenue part of it, and then they would report P&L cash basis. But they could do that, or they could do sales reps. They could even make whatever the sales reps, whoever does the sale. It sounds like they're actually doing the billing through QuickBooks.
Right.
It would have to be, or otherwise I would think it would be confusing, and I'm sure, I don't do a lot of medical. There's people who do just medical, people who use QuickBooks and work with clients who are medical for doctors and stuff. They use QuickBooks that likely integrate, if not, certainly Transaction Pro Importer, exporting stuff and importing into QuickBooks is another good solution. But I would say either doing, profit and loss P&L by class, which, they could do, which I think, especially if you're typically with the doctors, they're all partners, so you're finding out profitability by doctor, or using, if all you care about is tracking the drug sales by rep, which I think would be kind of hard, but, I don't know. I don't deal in the medical field really much at all, but I would say either sales rep or class tracking would be one of my two, and which I think you could do in QBO too, so it wouldn't even necessarily be a desktop question.
Yeah.
This might be what they're doing, but they could use in either system, class tracking or sales reps. Or you could use that Q commissions that Stacy was talking about. That might work too. The Q commissions app. Really, it's commissions.
Yeah. What about using? Never mind. I didn't listen to the question. I always want to go use a group item for everything in desktop. I want to use group items to track everything.
You want to do, but here's the thing: they're not selling the drug; they're prescribing it.
Right.
So the checks must be coming in. I'm guessing because, like I said, I don't work with medical. I'm not at all, and I don't have one client that's a doctor or medical group. So if anybody that's on the tweeters, on the Twitter line,
on the Twitter
lines want to say what they recommend, but I'm imagining that the commissions are coming back to the doctors in the form of a commission check from the vendors. And somehow the vendors are knowing who's prescribing. So I would imagine that when the commission check comes in, they can just post it as a sales receipt, drug commissions, which is really funny. I'll tell another story about that in a minute. But drug commissions, and then they're either doing it by class or by sales rep. I'm just not sure how the system's going, but that would be my recommendation.
So in this case, the doctors are vendors?
Doctors are vendors, sure, but they're either classes or sales reps. Sounds like they want to pay it out by doctor, and they must be when the commission checks are coming. There's got to be some kind of reporting on what they're prescribing.
Right. So I think there would be a good way to track that.
I can't imagine a medical facility using QuickBooks to do their billing.
I have a lot. Over the last time I've had my business, I've had so many doctors try to use QuickBooks to do their their billing.
You don't do that. I'm going to say you don't do that.
That's what I tried to tell them.
So, but anyway, I don't know. Long story, but whatever.
All right,
Can you give me a real desktop question, Woody? There aren't any questions. It's so easy. It's just smooth. Everybody just uses it.
All right. Let's see. Oh, here we go. I didn't see this till I reviewed our profit and loss report and finally noticed the duplicates. I've been posting the payroll and taxes for my bank downloads. Well, that's not really a hard one, but I've been posting payroll and taxes for my bank downloads, but I didn't realize that QuickBooks has been automatically entering the information when I run payday. So I started to try and fix the error by getting rid of the bank entries, but now I'm not sure that's a way to go. Poor thing. You know what I mean? Like that. That's something to consider, though. You're running payroll in QuickBooks, and yet you connected your bank, so the checks are clearing and coming in too. I'm not sure why they're not matching. Stacy, wouldn't they match?
Yeah, it depends. Though I think this might be is this a desktop question? So it depends on.
Yeah, that's why I asked Don, but.
You're gonna have to repeat it. I'm sorry. I was trying to tweet. I can't. Listen.
Right?
I'm a thing at a time person.
We actually have a question from Twitter about the app. So, this person is asking, when you look for great apps, what are the 2 or 3 most important checks that you do? What makes the app a winner? And so for me, because
She's frozen.
She froze up?
Yep. Frozen.
All right.
I'll say what I would say.
Yeah.
That's a problem. So I have to be able to, because the small business owner isn't going to spend more time than that. They're going to get frustrated.
Frozen. You start over. You were frozen.
Yeah, you were frozen for a while. We couldn't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. So start over. We don't even know what you're talking about at this point.
So the apps, what makes an app a great, like a winner is what they're asking. So what are the 2 or 3 most important things on the list to make an app a really good one? And I said, one of the things that I said was, there's a cat. One of the things that I said was, if I can't launch the app and connect it and be up and running and using the app within 10 or 15 minutes, it's not going to get 5 stars. And the reason why I say that is because most small businesses don't have the patience, and they're not going to, if I can't do it, and I know a lot of, like I'm a power user as far as like launching apps in the App Center and using QBO. I've been using it for a long time. If I can't figure it out and actually get a result from it within the first 10 or 15 minutes, it needs work. Another thing too is one of the things I really like is when you launch the app and you get it connected, having that step-by-step. Okay, so here's the first step. What's your contact information? Or at least having an interface that's really easy to navigate. If I have to click around to figure out how to add a user and it takes me more than a couple minutes, it's not going to be a deal.
She's going out again.
You're frozen.
It's all right. So Dawn, don't worry about the profit and loss one right now. What about how do you charge a person's salary to 2 different classes in the payroll system? That's really not a hard one, but I figured that would be a good one. That's desktop.
No, yeah. So you have to check that off in the payroll, in the employee, in the employee setup.
In the preferences, yeah.
You're using time tracking. I mean, obviously salary so it really depends. Like if they're just paying them a salary, they're not tracking time, which is stupid. If they're just going in you've been stalling, honey, so we started talking.
We've got another question because you keep freezing out. And I don't know why, but.
So if they're for a salary item, you can go in and just split it right in the face of the paycheck. What we do is we track the time. So we have salary. We have 3 salary people here at Powerful Accounting, and we do track time, regardless of the fact that they're paid salary, because I still need to bill people, and I also need to make sure that I'm staying, even for my value pricing clients, the people that I have contracts with that are not on an hourly basis. I still need to make sure that salary is broken out according to the time they've spent on each of those projects, so that I can evaluate if I'm pricing properly. I'm not an expert pricer. I don't have the money to hire someone to go out and do all my pricing and make sure that I'm, pricing things accurately. Like I would never value bill an IRS case. So, but if someone's on salary, I want the time on their salary to break out based on the job that they're working on. So it's kind of a two-folded question because you can just go right into the face of the paycheck and two different classes or jobs.
Right.
But
because there's that preference, right?
Correct.
But
you still just open. You don't even need the preference. Just open the face of the paycheck and change it right there.
And slap it right there.
Yeah, but if you're going to use time data to create the paycheck, you use the checkbox for that, and then you set it up and it'll break it out. So that
flows over nicely. I love that. I love how it flows over. That was pretty sweet.
It's sick.
That still is pretty sweet.
Well, and you know what also is really sweet is we can talk for hours about that. But I mean, just as a business owner, I'm like really, I'm not the cobbler. What do they call it? The peddler's kid, cobbler's kid is the person who makes the shoes. So I'm not that. I actually do my book. I look at my data. I look at my information on typically every other day. Sometimes I get crazy. It's every day, but I gotta have my thumb on the pulse of my business.
No, that's great. That's exciting. I mean, you're driving. You're a mover and a shaker. Yeah. That's what you do.
I was sorry, Stace, but you were.
Yeah, sorry, Stace. But
no,
you did.
You know what it is? It's Comcast. So because I had QBO open because I was going to talk about QuickBooks Labs, that's when everything decided to take a shit. I'm just going to say that. I just swore again on the show, and I don't care.
Okay. That's all right.
Comcast takes a big dump every time I have Google Hangouts open, and then I try to open online. I just want to say I can only use Comcast here, and it is the worst company, and I cannot stand it. And then what's really awesome is that around 9 or 10
They're not a sponsor of the show, by the way. Just go ahead.
No, they're not a sponsor of the show. And around 9 or 10 o'clock at night, my favorite thing is I'll be sitting on my phone. There's a cat. That's Yoda. I'll be sitting on my phone, and I'll be reading Reddit or posting Twitter or whatever. And the greatest thing about it is I have to turn off the Wi-Fi on my phone to use cellular because my Comcast is so slow around 9 or 10 o'clock every night. It's faster for me to use my cellular data. I hate them, and so my rant is over. End rant.
Wow.
So
no, that's good. And our move, we actually, it was an upgrade, but we upgraded. We're using Uverse, which is wicked fast. So I have a very fast internet compared to where we were, because I would cut out too, or the screen would freeze and things like that. There is another question I wanted to ask because it's pretty critical. It has to do with converting from desktop to QBO that I found out, the hardware. I just wanted to share that. But I did want to make a call out. Kim Hogan on the Twitters. Yes, I do flip-flop on Twitter. I sometimes really hate the platform, and then I say stupid things about it, only to come back to it to ask people questions on it and to post some things about QuickBooks Online and Abby. So I do apologize for that. That was a good point. If you're following Twitter, it's quite a nice turn she wrote. Very, very clever. I have only myself to blame. So notice this: when you are converting from desktop to QuickBooks Online, they went from Pro to QBO. How do I make the appropriate AR account the default? The AR account my invoices are currently posting to in QBO is not default in Pro. It is also not the first AR account in the chart of accounts. I don't want to begin posting to a different AR account than what I was using in Pro. What can I do to fix this problem? So that is a problem because in QBO, it'll have a default AR account, and you can create other ones, but you can't choose them, right? There's no field like on an invoice in desktop to choose the other AR account you want to go to. Now, when QBO took in the data from desktop, someone was choosing the wrong AR account on the last invoice they did in desktop before converting. So QBO just assimilated that as the default AR account, which is not good because there's no real way to change it that I know of other than reconverting from desktop. So it maybe there's something else we should add to the convert from desktop till I can be proven wrong anyway. But I remember testing this a couple months when I saw the question. Sorry it's taking so long to get to it, but hopefully that person's okay. When you're in desktop and you're converting and checking the file, make sure that there's not multiple AR accounts. If they are, that's fine, but make sure that the last invoice was done on the correct one you want as the default in QBO. Because once it's over there, you can't change to another AR account. It's just there's no field for that. And I'm not sure, Stacy, you have any ideas on how you trick QBO to all of a sudden? I mean, I guess you could make one AR account inactive, perhaps. You got to delete the transactions to it, and then I don't know.
So there's no way to do it. The only way that you can do it if you want to use a different AR account is a journal entry. That's the only way.
So that's tough. So I mean, and I think I'm actually going to send this one to conversion team. The reason being is that what if someone doesn't know? Because I am a firm believer that if you're a small business owner and you might have an awesome pro advisor like Don or Stacy or Seth or all these people out there, but you guys are working on other clients and you might have just converted this person to QBO, and they haven't known that they've been going to a different AR account for 61 days. You know what I'm saying? So then you can't really reconvert from desktop. That ship sailed. So I think it's a larger problem, and I'm hoping I'm just over-exaggerating because I'm just in that mood tonight, you know, kind of melodramatic.
You can do what you want.
And I did want to mention to Dawn that Tom Brady is giving Malcolm Butler the truck.
He should, because Butler deserved the MVP.
He should.
And not just because of the play at the end.
Well, mostly because of the play at the end.
With the exception of the fact that that horrible other catch, which wasn't a horrible catch, it was a great catch, when he fell down and kicked the ball in the air and did all that kind of stuff. I know you would. If we were playing in the backyard, we could both totally make a play like that.
Easy.
Lay on the ground and kick the ball in the air and catch it.
Yeah, you even do it now, probably.
But, you know, my gloves aren't in here. I have my Patriots gloves on today when I went to the IRS. And they went to shake my hand, and I went like this. Had the Patriots logo. I'm in New York. They got to be Giants fans or Jets fans. I was like, Patriots, brothers, what is up? I'm sure that wasn't good for my client, but you know what? Sometimes you got to roll the dice. Right, Woody?
Yep, totally. And
yeah, big Super Bowl win.
Yes, that was awesome and surprising.
Yeah, loved
it. I'm going to send that to some friends just to see, because that could be a conundrum for someone who's past the 60 days. You know, they don't know they've been hitting the wrong AR account. So we should maybe look at that. You know, I mean, if you guys are converting from desktop, keep in mind, make sure you have it's the right AR account. I totally forgot about that.
That's
a good
critical.
issue, because I don't know how you turn that ship around once you're in QBO, other than reconverting. I mean, you can delete all the transactions in the wrong AR account, or move them over and make the AR account inactive, and then I believe the other one becomes a default. But it's just, you know, you want it to go over correctly. So let's see here. You know, I had something, Dawn, that you were talking about, and I wanted to add regarding the Super Bowl.
Well,
but I totally spaced it.
Edelman was really good too. He, you know, could be co-MVPs, to be totally honest.
Yeah, he was awesome. I'm surprised he didn't get it. They got to keep up the Brady storyline, though. You know, I think that's a lot of marketing and PR.
Well, it's, you know, I think it was done genuinely, and good for him for that.
Yeah, I mean, good numbers. Good numbers. Oh, that's what I want to say. His numbers almost mirrored one less touchdown than the game against the Colts. So I no longer care about the proper inflation of the football. Just letting you know.
Yeah, did you see the really hilarious post on Facebook, which I'm sick of seeing, but it's still pretty funny? The Super Bowl ring with the what is it called? What is that called? The thing that pump up the needle. Super Bowl ring with a needle through it. Listen, if you got to hang on to that, you know what I mean? Because you're
the space needle.
So downtrodden from the loss. You know what? If that's what's going to get you through, I'm good with that.
The balls are properly inflated. The right two teams are playing each other. Seahawks would have killed any of the other AFC teams. Come on. It's a joke.
Woody, seriously?
No, not even going there.
We're here to educate people.
You know what I mean?
I don't
understand that. And by the way, the balls were all properly inflated for the Super Bowl. And it's not comfortable to talk about this, by the way. You know.
Comfortable for me all day long.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when clients call me and they're like, "Oh, I put this thing in and now it's gone." Like that's just as dumb as that. So I'm totally comfortable.
Well, I did want to warn you, though. There's another investigation, unfortunately, involving the Patriots, the Roger Goodell. It's called Crygate, and the NFL is investigating teams that are constantly crying because they keep losing to the Patriots.
Crygate.
Look for more on that one. Yep.
Oh man, I love it.
So,
that's awesome.
Dawn, a good one to end. Go ahead.
I think I'm back.
That's good. We're done talking about football.
I know. I listened to all of it, and I couldn't even contribute. which is fine because I don't really care. But
Yeah.
so yeah, I have solved my problem for now, I think, and we'll see. So there's 2 cats that just ran that way. My fat kitten Lily and Yoda. So I'm back, so I can talk and answer a question, but
we're done.
I know.
I gotta listen. I can't be. I got a couple things to do, and I gotta get the Shark Tank at 9.
No, I know you guys are rolling with it.
That's like eating dinner for me.
Well, you could go, but I do want to talk about QuickBooks Labs.
All right, I can wait another 3 minutes.
So if you go, QuickBooks Labs are basically things that the Intuit teams, the development teams, are kind of testing out. So a couple months ago, there was like a Bitcoin thing, and you can get to it if you go to your gear icon in QBO, and it will be in the menu screen. So when you drop that down, and go check that out, because there's a lot of really cool things that they're doing and that they're trying out. So I just wanted to talk about QuickBooks Labs because it's pretty neat. There's some cool stuff that they have going on. That's all.
Yeah, actually, that's where I got. That's where I figured out how you can collapse the left panel in QBO. You turn that on in the QuickBooks Labs.
Yeah.
Under the gear icon on the far left. No, very good. We got some good, cool desktop questions next week, and we have some QBO stuff to get to next week. There was a mini release for QBO, went out yesterday or today.
Oh, and by the way, just want to mention a big deal with that one is the fact that there are, you can see deposits now in the customer when you go to in the customer window. Before you would only see sales receipts or estimates or invoices or things like that. Now
you can see deposits.
Yeah, if you just go, because a lot of people will just go straight in because they're not doing invoicing, and they'll just go post a deposit and say what customer it came from, and so now those will show up in the customer screen.
And you can sort by unpaid overdue invoices, I think, right? Something with a overdue invoicing in the transaction window. And you can use the tab key to get through all the online banking fields. I mean, I'm not doing a video on this one. There's just not a lot in the release, but I guess it's pretty exciting for that. I mean, there wasn't something huge. I was like, oh man, I got to get a video out on this QBO release, but it's stuff that I think should have been in there already, especially when you're tracking customer workflow and AR workflow particularly.
Yeah.
And it's in there now, and so it should be helpful. And you guys will either stumble upon it, or you'll just assume it was already there, like it should have been, and that's cool. So I am not screaming that release from the rooftops.
Everything okay with that earbud?
I'm glad it was there. What's that?
Is everything okay with that earbud?
Yeah, the problem is that I think I'm going to get something bigger because I don't like things inside of my ear.
Fair enough. I don't blame you.
I would take them out. If there was someone in my ear, I would take it out.
So, well, thanks for watching and listening to this show. I hope it was good to have all 3 of us back, and we do appreciate our friends on Twitter kind of keeping the momentum going tonight. Thank you so much for doing that every week. I mean, there's folks that do it every week, like Kelsey and Kim and Seth and Richard and Jan.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you guys keeping the momentum of the show going
There's a cat.
on the Google Hangout.
Kildal.
Thank you.
Stacy.
What?
Kildal.
What?
How do you... Oh, don't get lippy with me.
I was what? What'd I do?
How do you... I'm trying to get your attention. I'm talking, remember?
I know. That's why I was like, what?
How do you... People want to know how to get to QB Labs. Like, how do you do that?
So do you guys want me to do a screen share real quick?
Sure.
People are asking, man.
How do you get to QB Labs? Because they want to collapse that left nav panel. That's the best thing.
Teach them stuff.
Let me do a screen share real quick. Hang on here. I want to get to my demo screen, my demo account here.
I'm even participating in the QBO lab conversation. I just want to make note of that.
I know. It's amazing. So I'm going to do a quick screen share. Here we go. Here we go.
Sharing.
So can you guys see it?
Not yet. There it is.
There it is. So
there it is.
You can see I am logged into QuickBooks Online, and I am in private mode, but I don't need to be because this is just a fake account. If I go to my gear icon, over in Settings, you'll see QuickBooks Labs. And there you have it. There are a lot of things that you can turn on and turn off. So there's that Bitcoin, and so there's a couple different things. I like the collapsible left nav. But what you can also do, and I believe that there's a direct, there is a direct link. You can go to the intuitlabs.com, and you can see here it is. And so here's all the different projects. So you can either get to it from within QuickBooks by going to the gear icon and choosing QuickBooks Labs, or you can go directly to intuitlabs.com, and you can view the projects, and there's a few of them here that you can take a look at.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I did want to mention that in order to get the labs selection to wake up in QBO, you got to refresh the window.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yep.
Or else you like Stacy doesn't see the left arrow yet to collapse, but see now she does. See, I love that.
Now I can collapse it and give me a little bit more real estate. I really like that. So
don't get upset if you don't see it. Right away. You gotta hit refresh.
And I really I spent a lot of time the other night on this website. I went through and I looked, I was just kind of checking out all of these different projects that they have. So it's kind of cool. So just wanted to share that out with all of my QB Show audience peeps.
Yeah,
cool.
Very exciting. And I think Jan corrected us. It's Intuit Labs, but that's close enough. I don't.
Well,
it'll say Labs.
I said it's intuitlabs.com.
Oh, it is. Okay, good.
Go to QuickBooks. If you're in QBO, it says QuickBooks Labs.
Oh, it does. All right.
Yes.
Cool.
So if you are in QBO, the menu item is QuickBooks Labs. But if you go to the website directly without going through QBO, it's intuitlabs.com.
That's cool, because I only ever really see every other second word in a sentence, so I'll see labs, and that's good enough for me.
Right? It's all good.
And it usually works out. I'm able to do a lot with that kind of, not really an illness, more of a proclivity.
Right.
Yeah. So, that's pretty funny. All right, so we should cut it. I'm kind of slap happy for moving.
I'm just slap happy from 2 snow days.
Yeah, I bet. You're just cabin.
I was at the IRS Federal Building, so I'm wicked fired up.
Yeah.
All right.
No, thanks for tonight. It was good to get back in the saddle. All three of us on. Are we all going to be on next week, too?
Heck yeah.
All right.
With little bellies on. I might not have jammies on, but I'll be here.
Okay.
I'll be ready.
Well, you guys thanks for watching and listening and participating, and we'll see you next. You know that conundrum about the, not really the royalty, but the commission paid to the doctors who are selling the prescriptions, right? That one?
Yeah.
That would be a cool one to have Seth come on and show it in product if he's up for that. That'd be a lot of fun.
Coming on.
I'll ask him. I'll see him.
He's not.
It'd be fun.
I'll see if he will. He's usually up for that kind of stuff. I'm sure
he'll. Yeah, he's busy.
I don't know.
All right. Well, you guys have a.
I just want to say one more thing, and then I'll stop. I'm just gonna shut it down. I just want to say, I'm here so I don't get fined.
Throw away thumb drives, no attachments. Get the files anywhere when you're permitted access. What's the matter? Frustrated with the hassle? Jump up in the cloud and join us in the castle. We're high up in the clouds and we're never coming down.